I want to read a comment to you because I think I've been hearing this sentiment over and over from people who don't want to leave their counterfeit churches and create their own personal justification by distorting the word. Let me say that again. They create their own personal justification by distorting the word of God because they don't want to leave their community. For whatever reason, I don't know what their motives are. I don't really care what their motives are. What I care about is what the word says. The word says, come out of Babylon. It doesn't say any other version, like work from within. Paul wasn't preaching that. Peter wasn't preaching that. James wasn't preaching that. The word does not counsel you to join yourselves with people with whom you are not in agreement. The word says things like have nothing to do with those people, and that you're going to leave even family to go and follow Christ. So the idea that God is going to use you in what he describes as the Antichrist is absurd. It's completely absurd. It is a justification in order to make yourself feel better about total disobedience to his word. This person says, I go to an evangelical church, predominantly white Republican, and I did not know this stuff. As a black female longtime Christian, I don't know why any of this matters, by the way. Does it matter? White Republican, you're a black female? Who cares? This is world speak. God isn't identifying his people as being of these different ethnicities, races, cultures. There's one race, one culture, one nation that you're supposed to be a part of. As a black female, longtime Christian, I do not buy into that stuff and will speak my mind when I need to from a biblical perspective, not a political one. She's going to go on to not speak from a biblical perspective. What is going on in the church right now? The church is a big word, is definitely not biblical. Like, how are you acknowledging that you're in a church that is not biblical and are about to say that you're going to continue to remain there? I wholeheartedly agree. I will try to work from within instead of running away. Okay, so that is a doctrine right there. That's a doctrine that this person is espousing. I will try to work from within instead of running away. And what they're trying to do is set that up as being the good thing, the thing that we're supposed to do. That if you separate from what is false, you're running away. What are you running away from? You're running away from people who have rejected truth. You would be running away from the people you're supposed to run away from. The word doesn't say this. It doesn't say work from within the wolves and the people who delight in falsehood. It says get away from them. Do not join Christ to a prostitute. That's what the word says. But this is a person who makes up their own doctrine. They make up what they're supposed to do instead of just doing what the word says they're supposed to do. And then she goes on to say, salt and light. Salt and light? You can't be salt and light. God says that you don't give something light to put it under a bowl, that you put it on a stand so that it shines for the entire room. You are the light of the world. You're supposed to be carrying his light and speaking on his authority, not your own. How are you ever going to be used as salt and light, preserving God's church, preserving his word, preserving the earth? How are you going to do that when you don't even speak on the purity of his word? You don't speak on his authority. Jesus said that you have to speak on the authority of the one who sent you. Otherwise, you're not a person of truth. If you speak on your own authority, you're doing so for your own glory. Understand what I'm saying, because I'm not going to mince words at all. If you choose to stay in a counterfeit church or a counterfeit Bible study or a counterfeit small group, you choose to join yourselves with people who do not love truth and do not speak on the authority of the one who sent them, you are joining yourself with the Antichrist. You are of the Antichrist, period. That's the truth. When God calls you to himself, he said, leave everything, including families, possessions, fields, homes. Do you think that I have lived this out in front of you so that you can go and create doctrines like that and be like, oh, you have the hard covenant, Carrie, but I have the covenant where I get to make up my own doctrines. I have the covenant where I get to keep my community and all of the things that I had when I was a pagan. God doesn't require all that of me. God doesn't require me to speak things before they even happen as a matter of faith. No, I get to wait to share what I know to be true. I get to wait to share that until it actually happens. That way I don't look like a stupid idiot. But you, Carrie, you have to speak those things ahead of time. You have to stand in your faith. But God doesn't require that of me. All right, guys. That's what I see happening right now. I see you guys making up your own doctrines. You really don't care about what the truth is. You don't care about what your responsibility is. You're waiting until certain things happen so that then you can say, oh, I know what this is. You can look back at it and say, oh, it's already in my hand. That way I don't have to look stupid. Just in case it's not true. Just in case it's not true, by the way, means that you don't have faith at all. You have treated the word and God's servants like psychics. Just in case. Go discern this message with God.